What's up, everybody? This is your boy Uber Hikari, aka the Nerd Nigga, here to bring you another video with no frills, just the analysis. And today, it's going to be a video response to my man, the King of Lightning, on where the Cloud Village stands. And you already know my reputation for exposing bullshit in the YouTube anime community, so I don't even have to, you know, brief you on my credentials when it comes to that. So whenever I'm here to do a video exposing some bullshit, I'm going to keep it straight with you. I'm going to keep it 100% with you guys, and I'm going to let you in on what the truth really is. So I'm doing this video response because I have to provide some clarification and context for King of Lightning's video about the Cloud Village, because King of Lightning was mostly on dead on with a lot of what he was saying, but he made a couple of mistakes, and I feel like I have to address those mistakes, because in order for you to really understand what was going on, you have to have the proper context, and a part of having that context is to have the full amount of information that you need. So this is going to be a video response to the King of Lightning, because he wasn't there for everything, and everybody in that group is going to have a different perspective on things. So there's going to be multiple ways of looking at this situation. And it's also true for me as well. I was on hiatus for a month, so there was a huge chunk of time where I really wasn't active on Skype, and I really wasn't active in the Cloud Village. So I might be mistaken about some things, just like I think King of Lightning was mistaken about some things. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what the history of the Cloud Village was, and what eventually led to people leaving the group, and a lot of fragmentation and a lot of problems with group cohesion that really were, to this day, really not resolved. So how did the Cloud Village initially form? I started uploading videos to YouTube in October. I believe it was October 2nd. And it was a video response to Uber Black Man. And I think now it's the very first video on this channel. So if you guys don't know what that whole, video response was about, basically Uber Black Man uploaded a video called This Shitty Ass Anime Community, and I did a video response to that. After I did a video response to Uber Black Man, I started gaining a lot of subscribers and a lot of viewers, and me and Uber Black Man really became friends, and that's when I joined Skype. Now, the original Skype group, this was before the Cloud Village. The original Skype group was Uber Black Man, Manga Reader Z, Nerdy Talk, GT the King, Insane Game Freak, and J-Man, whose main channel was now Jay's Playground. Before it was J-Man's Productions and the J-Man Vlogs. And we were having very, very, very good Skype discussions. I mean, we were just going in. In fact, I believe the Insane Game Freak uploaded one discussion we had on immortality, and I believe that's on his Terrell Game Vlogs channel, or Terrell Vlogs, or basically his secondary channel, not his primary channel, if I'm not mistaken. And then at the end of December, this was around December 21st, I believe it was, I was the one who came up with the idea to have a collab channel. So that idea was my idea. Now, so I proposed that like on one night, and then the next night we were in a Skype discussion, and by the time I had gotten in that Skype discussion, everybody there had already decided on the name, which was the Cloud Village, and so they had already gotten the ball rolling on what they wanted this collab channel to look like and what they wanted to be like. And even now, I don't even know who came up with that name, the Cloud Village. I believe it was Uber Black Man, but I really could be wrong about that, because like I said, by the time I had gotten into the discussion, they had already created that name, so I wasn't there for that. And the people who were in that Skype call was Uber Black Man. These are the ones I remember. Somebody else may have been there, but these are the ones I remember specifically. Uber Black Man was there, J-Man was there, GT the King was there, and Manga Reader Z was there, and of course I was there as well. And I was the one who actually made the Cloud Village channel. And actually, I remember that specifically because Uber Black Man was like, why do you have all lowercase letters in the name? And that's just me. I like lowercase letters. That's why my name is Uber Hikari. That's why my channel name is lowercase letters. But anyway, my email account is also linked to that channel because, again, I was the one who created the Cloud Village channel. So it was my idea. Some other people came up with the name, and I was the one who created the channel. So why did the Cloud Village form? Basically, the Cloud Village formed because we wanted to change the anime community. We were the antidote, for a while. That was, the caption when you came on the Cloud Village YouTube channel. We are the antidote. And basically, we were the antidote to idiots like Forever World and, who's the other? Oh, Phone 999. Yeah, that he's so irrelevant I almost forgot his name. But anyway, so we wanted to be the antidote to, idiots like that. And so what we wanted to do was introduce people to new anime, have very, exciting Skype calls, let you in on basically the world that we inhabited when we got on Skype. And I think we've had somewhat mixed success with introducing people to new anime. The versus matches, I think, have been pretty successful, although sometimes they're not very successful. But I think overall, we're doing a lot of good with those versus matches. And one thing I have to clarify right now, there's a huge misunderstanding about what the Cloud Village is and what the Cloud Village was formed for and what it means when we say we want to introduce people to new anime and manga. And I know this pertains to me especially. People are under this impression that we're an anti-Big Three group, or that me specifically, that I'm an anti-Big Three person. I was never an anti-Big Three person. Never. Just because I criticize Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach does not mean that I don't like them. It doesn't mean that I hate them, and it doesn't mean that I want them to disappear from the YouTube anime community. Because, like the Jurashay said, chapter reviews and the Big Three are a major part of the YouTube anime community. In fact, they are the main reason why there was ever a foundation for something like the YouTube anime community. And I know some people don't agree that there is such a thing, but they're the main reason why a lot of people can start YouTube channels and have an audience and have a viewership when they're talking about anime and manga. The Big Three started that. But just like I wrote on Anime Green's recent video, in the comment section, I said, listen, it's true that the Big Three is a major part of the YouTube anime community. But what's also true is that at some point, you have to diversify. It doesn't mean that you exclude the Big Three from the YouTube anime community, but it does mean that if you want to maintain a diverse and vibrant community, then you have to diversify. I'm not anti-Big Three. I'm anti-Big Three monopolization. I don't like it when the Big Three dominates the YouTube anime community at the expense of other anime and manga. I happen to believe that it's possible for other anime and manga and the Big Three to coexist and to have some sort of balance. That's my position. That's always been my position. So if anybody is under the and I think it's always been the position of the Cloud Village. So if anybody is under the impression that we're somehow anti-Big Three or that we're hypocrites because there's a lot of members in the group who do chapter reviews, you need to get that out your head because that's a bunch of bullshit. Seriously, get that out your head. Now, let's talk about something that King of Lightning also talked about when he talked about why the Cloud Village was formed. He claimed that we originally another reason why we formed was because of charity. And that really wasn't the main reason why we started the group. But that became a reason after we started the group. That became a reason why we wanted to continue with the project of the Cloud Village. We realized that if we wanted to have partnership, eventually we would need AdSense. And when you start talking about AdSense, of course, money comes into the picture. And when money comes into the picture, it becomes a major reason why a lot of other groups might break up because they allow money to come in between them. So what we decided in order to just get rid of this problem right off the bat is whatever money we ever made from the Cloud Village, we would just donate it all to charity. So that became a reason for continuing the Cloud Village project after we started the channel, but it wasn't an original reason why we started the Cloud Village channel. And the last reason why we started the Cloud Village channel was basically because we wanted to have fun. We wanted to share our Skype calls with the community, and we wanted to entertain people, and we wanted to bring a diverse set of topics to discuss to YouTube and to, sort of push the boundaries of what people within the YouTube anime and manga community would be willing to listen to and be willing to discuss, like our Nature of Justice call. You're not going to find any other anime and manga channel on YouTube besides mine, because I'm the only one that has any other political topics that really talk about that. J-Man occasionally talks about that, but not really. So we also wanted to diversify, not just within the YouTube anime and manga community, but we wanted to diversify outside of the YouTube anime and manga community. So who was in the group? Who were the original members of the group? The original members of the group were the Insane Game Freak, Uber Black Man, GT the King, Jay's Playground, Manga Reader Z, Nerdy Talk, King of Lightning, and of course myself. Now, people who were not quite originals, but who were added very, very quickly after the formation of the Cloud Village was Master King JC, Darius 19R, and King Fo Jason. He was the third one. Now, later additions included Ramiyaku Joten, Persian Version Speaks, Hadosen Goku, and Super Kami Guru 9000, or rather Christian from Super Kami Guru 9000. And then the last three people to be added to the Cloud Village, which was at our peak membership, was Larry from Otaku Assemble, Uncle Mean, and Esper Review. And then we were together, everything was rolling, and then we hit a couple of snags and people started leaving the group or getting kicked out. So the first person to leave the Cloud Village was Insane Game Freak. And we were going to kick him out anyway because he wasn't really participating in the calls. And this is where King of Lightning was right. It was weird because he would be on Skype or online on Facebook, but he wouldn't be in Cloud Village discussions. And it's not like, you have to be in every single Cloud Village discussion. I mean, there were 18 of us. He could have participated in some, but not others. Maybe he could have joined once a week, something like that. But there would be huge stretches of time, like 2, 3, 4 weeks, where he just, wouldn't be in a single call and in a single recording. So that's the reason why he was about to get kicked out. But before we could, really put the boot to him, I guess he kind of, his spidey senses kicked in and he kind of just left. And his reasoning for leaving the group was that the group wasn't going anywhere and it wasn't doing anything, but this was bullshit. I mean, just a steaming pile of bullshit. And it was very hypocritical of the Insane Game Freak. And I'm still cool with, the Insane Game Freak, but I think he knows that that his reasoning for leaving was a bunch of bullshit. And the reason why I say it was bullshit was because how can you claim that the group isn't going anywhere or that the group isn't doing anything and yet you're not contributing to the group? I mean, if you really felt strongly about the Cloud Village and if you wanted us to succeed, then you should have been in the calls trying to direct us in the path that you thought we should be going in. And so it was hypocritical for him to claim that we weren't going anywhere and yet he was, not contributing to the group at all. And we didn't really part ways. We didn't part, in bad ways. We just came to a mutual understanding that this, relationship wasn't working out. So he moved along. The next person to leave the group, if I'm not mistaken, was Larry from Otaku Assemble. And he basically left because he felt like he wasn't a good fit for the group or the group wasn't a good fit for him. And he was right. He was, completely justified in his beliefs because people within the group were alienating him. There's no other way to say it. They were alienating him. And they were excluding him from certain group activities based on certain assumptions about him or based on certain assumptions about his personality. And the straw that really broke the camel's back was the channel Cloud Village Dubs. A lot of you don't know this. I mean, of course, Master King JC is a genius when it comes to those parodies and those dubs. But what a lot of you don't know is that channel, Cloud Village Dubs, was started without the consent of a majority of the group members. Now that I think about it, not even some of them, the majority of the people didn't know about that. So what happened was Master King JC took it upon himself to create a whole new channel using the Cloud Village name without discussing or without the consent of a majority of the members. And the people who were involved in this little Cloud Village Dubs project was Master King JC, Nerdy Talk, Manga Reader Z, and Hado, Mr. Dark Hado, who is now Hado Sengoku. And so they were in the chat section of Skype, and they were discussing back and forth about, who they think should be a part of this discussion. Now, here's where things get a little bit sketchy, because I wasn't there in the chat section when this was going on, so I had to go back and read what they had written. So a lot of it is just fragments, because I really wasn't there. But basically what happened was they didn't include Larry in that project because they didn't think that he would, be a good fit, or they didn't think that he would be, willing to do that. And a lot of this had to do with the perception that Larry was too serious, or that Larry was uptight, and that Larry was too anal. And so that's sort of the perception that they had of, Otaku Assemble. And then they called him a hypocrite, and some other things were exchanged, and I'm not really too sure about that. But in any event, Larry was heated, and I think he had a right to be heated. I mean, because there are members in the group who are actively alienating you, who are excluding you from certain activities, and they have this perception of you that's, really not true. At least I don't think it's true. I mean, Larry will tell you that he's an arrogant asshole. Larry knows that that's true. He'll tell you that. But nobody can deny that Larry is very intelligent, that he always puts out quality content, and that when it comes to being on top of his game, he's always on top of his game. So, we know that about Larry. The next person to leave the group was Uncle Mean. Now, he left because he was also being alienated within the group. And apparently, and I didn't find this out until after Uncle Mean had left the Cloud Village, but apparently a lot of people didn't even want him to join the group, but they never said anything. They never made their concerns explicit. So if you remember that Nature of Justice call, which included all 18 of us, yeah, because Irvin was a part of that call as well, which included 18 of us. That was the night. The night we recorded that call was the night Uncle Mean, well, actually, Uncle Mean, Otaku Assemble, and Esper Review were all added to the group on the night we recorded that Nature of Justice call. But in that call, I was the one who asked, all of the members in the group, does anybody object to adding Uncle Mean, Otaku Assemble, and Esper Review? Now, Uber Black Man claims he said no. I don't remember this. Maybe he did say that, but I don't remember this. What I do remember is that even if he said that, no one else made any objections. That's clear to me. No one else made any objections about adding Uncle Mean to the group. Now, like I said, later on, people started coming out and saying they didn't want Uncle Mean to ever join the group. And I was like, where the fuck did this come from? Nobody ever said this to me. And the major reason why Uncle Mean felt alienated was because, and I don't know exactly how this happened, because again, I was there for some events and not others, but somehow Uncle Mean got removed from the Cloud Village. You know how on Scat you can, Scat, what the fuck, where the fuck did that come from? On Skype, you know how on Skype you can create a discussion group. Well, somehow Uncle Mean got removed from that discussion group, and whenever there was a Cloud Village call being made, the call wouldn't go through to Uncle Mean. And so what happened was he would ask people to, like Uncle Mean, like King of Lightning said, beam me up, meaning add me to the call. What happened was people like Uber Black Man and GT the King would ignore him, refuse to add him to Cloud Village conversations. Now, my whole thing was this. We're a brotherhood. Or at least we're supposed to be a brotherhood. We're all, some of us still have a child mentality, or at least some of us, still have that child mentality. But I would expect us, if we're all involved in a collab channel, if someone wants to be involved in a conversation with respect to that collab channel, that you would let them in the group. But no, Uber Black Man and GT the King would ignore him and not let him into the call. And what was so bad about this whole situation was that they lied about it. I mean, listen, when I say I'm going to tell the truth, I'm going to tell the truth about everybody. And me and GT the King are still cool. He's still in the Cloud Village. But I'm not going to act like everybody who's in the Cloud Village, even now, is a saint, because that's not true. There were a lot of things that disrupted group cohesion, and there were a lot of members who disrupted group cohesion, and some of those members who I'm still cool with are even now currently in the Cloud Village. So I'm not here to act like everybody, is a saint, or that, everybody who's in the Cloud Village and that I'm cool with have clean hands, because they don't. There were a lot of things that happened that I feel like were wrong from people who are still within the Cloud Village and people who are no longer members of the Cloud Village. But in any event, Uncle Ming felt like he was being alienated. People were lying about ignoring him when he wanted to get into the calls, and he left the group. And I think he was, justified in doing so. Now, there is King of Lightning in his video brought up the fact that Larry from Otaku Assemble was trying to convince Ming to leave the group, and that he also had a hand in trying to convince J-Man from leaving the group. From my perspective, from my standpoint, this is nothing but rumor and speculations. This has never been confirmed by Larry of Otaku Assemble, and no one has ever claimed that Larry has told them this. No one has ever claimed that Uncle Ming has told them this, and no one has ever claimed that J-Man from Jay's Playground has told them this. So from my perspective, if it can't be confirmed, then you put that in the category of rumor and speculation. So I don't know if that's true or not. But even if we assume that it is true, that Larry played some part in trying to get J-Man out of the group or Uncle Ming out of the group, I think he was, in the final instance, I think he was justified. Because Uncle Ming was being alienated. And if Uncle Ming came to Otaku Assemble and said, these guys are, I feel like I'm being alienated, and if Otaku Assemble said, well, then leave the group, then he would be justified in saying that to Uncle Ming, and then trying to convince him to leave the group. Because if you're a part of a collab channel, and there are members who are a part of that collab channel who are actively trying to exclude you from the activities of that channel, and you feel alienated because of that, then you're justified in leaving the group. The next person to leave was, I believe, King Fu Jason, but he's been having some personal issues, so, I'm not really going to touch on that. Now, the next person to leave was J-Man from Jay's Playground. He left because he didn't agree with what some members of the group were doing. He felt like some of the members were shady, and he never specified, but my suspicion is that he meant King of Lightning. Can't be too sure about that because those words never left his mouth, or he never wrote those words, but it's almost certain from the diss sessions between J-Man and King of Lightning, and the whole good opportunity thing with King of Lightning, that he probably was referring to King of Lightning. And there were some other reasons that he mentioned. Eventually, I PM'd him and asked him why he left the group. There were some other reasons why he left, but I think the main reason why he left is because he didn't agree with what some of the members in the Cloud Village were doing. Now, J-Man is a hypocrite. Let me just say this. J-Man is a hypocrite. Now, I'm no longer cool with J-Man. But I was, until recently, until very recently, until today, actually, I was still subbed to him. I still had him boxed on my channel. I was still watching his videos. I was still commenting on his videos. And even now, as a YouTube uploader, I respect the quality of his content. I do. So I'm not here to pretend as if all of a sudden I'm doing an about face and it's all of a sudden fuck J-Man. Even now, even though the relationship between us is kind of icy, it's not fuck J-Man. But I have to expose his bullshit. And he's a hypocrite. Here's why he's a hypocrite. Like I said, his main reason for leaving the Cloud Village was that he didn't agree with some members of the group and he felt like they were shady. But here's why J-Man's a hypocrite. And he's a hypocrite because of basically because of how he got partnership. What he did was he made videos about openings and endings. And we all know J-Man loves, anime music. And there's been on numerous occasions where he's talked about anime music in his videos. But what he did was he made reviews of certain openings and endings. And he named the videos as if they were the actual songs. But he never put review in the title. So what happened was, and you don't have to take my word for this. If J-Man hasn't changed the titles, then you can go on his channel right now, search for his most popular videos, his most viewed videos, and you'll click on the videos and you'll see. In the title, he's named it as if it's the actual song, and he never put review in the title. So people, he was getting a shit ton of views off of this. I mean, tens of thousands of views off of this, where people were clicking on his video thinking that it was either the opening or the ending, and it was just him talking about the opening or the ending. And he got a shit ton of views for that. And that's basically how he got partnership. Before he uploaded this videos, he didn't meet the threshold for Social Blade partnership. At most, I think he was getting maybe 600-700 views per day. He certainly wasn't getting the 1,600 that was necessary to reach the threshold to become a Social Blade partner. That's not true. It was only after he started gaining a shit ton of views with these mislabeled and misleading titled videos that he was able to meet the threshold for Social Blade partnership and become a Social Blade partner. So it was because of these shady videos that J-Man became a YouTube partner. Now listen, I'm not saying that J-Man didn't deserve to become a partner, that he didn't have quality content on his channel. But what I am saying is that the way he became a YouTube partner is shady. Absolutely shady. And I'm sorry, but I have to expose that bullshit. So to me, J-Man is a hypocrite. Now let's talk about Nerdy Mo, whose main channel is now Nerdy Talk 101. He got kicked out of the group for three main reasons. One, a while back ago, I don't know how long ago, but a couple of months ago, the Cloud Village uploaded a video called Preferences in Women. At least that's the name, that's the title I gave the video. But before that, a lot of different people, and in the comment sections in that video, you'll see that somebody actually mentioned that the title of this video has changed like 2 or 3 times. But anyway, somebody changed the title of that video to Bitches We Smash. And it was a very weird situation because for a while we didn't know who changed that title. Nobody would admit to changing it. People were, lying through their teeth. Well, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. What we later found out, and apparently this happened while I was on hiatus, but what happened was Nerdy Talk admitted to being the one to changing that title. So you're going to change the title of a Cloud Village? First of all, a collab channel is a representation of everybody in that channel. So whatever one person does in the name of that channel, it reflects on everybody. So if you change the title of a video to Bitches We Smash, then everybody's implicated in that because we're all a part of that collab channel. That's a no-no. That's the first reason. The second reason is that Nerdy Talk was using the Cloud Village and the Cloud Village Dubs channels to like his own videos. Come on now, seriously? Everybody knows that's a no-no. Again, a collab channel is supposed to be a reflection of everybody. So you can't use the collab channel or the collab channel name to promote the videos on your own personal YouTube channel. Again, that's a no-no. It's a no-no. The third reason he got kicked out was because he was stealing Cloud Village calls. Really? Come on now, Nerdy. I mean, that's some real grimy shit. He would steal Cloud Village calls, post them on his own Nerdy Talk 101 channel, monetize them, and then to top it all off, to fucking top it off, to put the ice cream on top of the goddamn cake, he wouldn't link anybody else in either annotations or the description box. He wouldn't even give us credit. What kind of shit is that? You're going to steal somebody else's shit, make money off of it, and then not credit them. That's a huge no-no. So we had to kick his ass out the group. And basically, and King of Lightning touched on this, Denzel is basically Nerdy Talk's fucking cash cow. Denzel doesn't know about partnership. In fact, Nerdy Talk admitted to us that he deleted the YouTube partnership email he received when he was admitted into the partnership program so that Denzel wouldn't see it. And to this day, and I can't confirm it, so this is just my speculation, I don't think Denzel knows that Nerdy is even making money off of him. So in my eyes, Nerdy Mo is a money-hungry hoe. That's what Nerdy Mo is. Moving on. The next person to leave the Cloud Village was Uber Blackman. And he left because the calls were quote-unquote dry. Basically, his whole thing was that the calls were not as exciting or entertaining as they used to be. The Cloud Village wasn't as cohesive as he would have liked it to be. And apparently, which was the news to me when he said this, he didn't like some members in the Cloud Village. I mean, why he would decide to join a group when there were people in that group he didn't like, you'd have to ask him. But apparently, there were some members in the Cloud Village that he didn't like. And ultimately, I mean, I think these were bullshit reasons. And ultimately, we never got a very clear explanation for why he left the Cloud Village. So even to this day, I mean, those were the reasons he gave, but I'm still not sure about why exactly he left the Cloud Village, you know, just high and dry like that. And me and King of Lightning can confirm this. At one point, we spent 45 minutes in the call just questioning him, like, dude, why are you leaving? And he would just be silent. There's no clear explanation. And in my eyes, he basically bitched out. And the ironic thing about this is that the main people he claims not to like, and the main people that he said were responsible for a disruption in group cohesion, and the main people he said were dry in the calls, were people he added to the fucking Cloud Village. I mean, how ironic is that? So you're going to leave? I mean, you're going to fuck up the Cloud Village. In your eyes, you're going to add some people to the group. Then those people fucked up the group in your eyes. And then every other member, you just going to leave hanging. You just going to bitch out and leave. I mean, that was some real bitch shit, Uber. I mean, that was some real bitch shit. And so when it was time for him to step up and be a leader, to take over, to guide the Cloud Village, he bowed out like a bitch. And on top of that, he was defending Nerdy Mo, which to this day, I can't understand why he would defend them. Why the hell would you defend Nerdy Mo? But whatever. The next person to leave was Darius19R. And he just wasn't feeling the group anymore. But I don't really have much to say about Darius19R except this. On one of the recent videos that we uploaded to the Cloud Village, he basically called King of Lightning Superhead, said he was the YouTube anime community hoe, and all this other stuff. And Darius19R apologized for this, and he knows this. That was a bitch move. And I'm really disappointed and really surprised, because he never told me anything about the fact that he didn't like King of Lightning or that he wasn't cool with King of Lightning. And from what King of Lightning has told me, Darius actually told him that he was cool with him. So I don't know where that came from. That was just some crazy schizophrenic shit. The last person to leave the Cloud Village was Esper Review. And there's really no bad blood between us. But Esper Review has mobile Skype, and if anybody has mobile Skype, you know it sucks. And so he really can't participate in a lot of the calls. And if you're a subscriber of the Cloud Village, or if you watch our videos, you know that Esper Review actually hasn't been in a lot of recordings. So, you know, we understand why he would, you know, leave the group if he feels like he's not contributing to it. So basically, and to be honest, before I end this video, I didn't even want to make these videos. In fact, you can ask King of Lightning. I was adamantly against him making that video on his channel. And it took a lot of, you know, arguing back and forth to persuade me to, you know, be in league with that. And I really, you know, didn't want to do that, because I realized that it would just expose a lot of drama, and it would just escalate a lot of the conflicts. And that's precisely what happened. J-Man's now very, very salty. You know, our relationship is icy now. And, you know, that was the main reason. I didn't want to dust up a lot of shit. But my hand was basically forced by Uber Black Man. I mean, it's bad enough that he fucked up the group. It's bad enough that he left the group high and dry. But then to get on his own channel and on Blog TV and talk shit about us? Really? Especially when he's a part of the real reason, a major reason why group cohesion was disrupted with those diss sessions. Because those were his ideas. It created a lot of animosity between Uber Black Man and GT the King. And it created a lot of animosity between King of Lightning and J-Man. And if it wasn't for those diss sessions, I don't think the fragmentation of the Cloud Village would have happened the way it's played out. So I think he bears a lot of responsibility for, you know, the disruption of, you know, the group cohesion of the Cloud Village. But like I said, I didn't want to make this video, and I really didn't want to, you know, King of Lightning to make his video. but Uber Black Man basically forced my hand. So now you have the complete history of the Cloud Village and the complete explanation and context and clarification for why basically everybody who ever left the Cloud Village left, and how we formed and why we formed, and basically all of that stuff. So this was your boy Uber Hikari, aka the Nerd Nigga. Just brought you another video with no frills, just the analysis. Peace and have a blessed day.